Hello, this is Dr. Martina, your sexuality expert and online sex therapist. Don't forget about your hips. That's the topic this week. And I want to show you the benefits that you will get, emotional and physical benefits you will get if you move your hips. If we don't exercise, if we don't have sex, if we don't dance, if we sit a lot, which a lot of us have all done in the last 6 months, our hips automatically, they get stiff. You know, the blood flow is not optimized because the movement is just very minimal and the hips get stiff. And if your hips are stiff, it can have an effect on your lower back. You can have overall other pains in your body by not using your hips and keeping everything fluid and optimizing the blood flow. So, and on top of that, it will disconnect you from your sexual energy. And that, of course, will sap your overall energy. And that is not good. I have noticed this myself in my body. Just the other day, I tried to move my hips a little bit to some music, and it was terrible. I gave up after 10 seconds because I felt like I can't move those hips. They're just way too stiff, so I gave up on it. And I've also haven't had sex since March, so that usually keeps me nice and fluid, and that actually kept me connected with my sexual energy. But you know what? Just because we're not having sex or because we're not exercising much, it doesn't mean we cannot move our hips. And that doesn't mean that we can not connect with that wonderful energy that you get when your hips are being moved. So what I want to do today is I want to show you the simple pelvic tilt. There's a double tilt, but we're going to do just a simple pelvic tilt today. And then afterwards we're going to just dance a little bit to get these juices flowing and to get our connection to our sexual energy. And so I hope you're going to get up and participate with this. So, standing up, okay, I'm going to turn so you have a better view of what's happening with my pelvic here. So the thing to do is feel yourself grounded, barefoot or shoes. I think barefoot is better, but it's totally up to you, whatever you need for support. And then the other thing is, I'm going to pull this shirt down so you can see it better too. And then the other thing is for your feet about shoulder width apart. And the most important thing is don't lock your knees. You know, don't lock your knees like this. Keep them soft. So you keep your knees soft and you wiggle a little bit. Even that feels good. Just throw that weight around there from your buttocks. So the thing to do is you can guide yourself with the hands, just like you guide yourself when we're going to breathe. So put one hand right here on the pubic bone where the fingers kind of touch the pubic bone, and the other hand you put back here by the sacrum. And what we're going to do is we are going to breathe in and push down like that. And then it comes back up and push down, comes back up. So when you push down, the sacrum goes up. And when you come up with the pelvic bone, the cheeks kind of squish together. So that's the tilt. So just kind of start moving this way. So breathing in. There you go. A lot of people will probably recognize this move from having sex. This is why the pelvic floor, you can also move it around. The pelvic floor works hard when you have sex. And the more you work with the pelvic floor and the more you tilt your hips like this, the more lubrication you get up your spine, and there's optimal blood flow into your genitals, and it just feels good. In the institute where I got my degree, we used to make fun. We had fun with this exercise. So what we did is, he says, imagine being in a wine barrel, and you're in there and you're cleaning the wine barrel from the inside out. You can use your hands to kind of help you with the balance. You can reach your hands up, get that corner, just to start moving those hips. And you do that the best with your pelvic tilt. And now, since your hips are nice and loose, now what we can do is we can go back to that dancing that I was talking about earlier. And that would be, you know, the Zumba dance classes are fabulous. They have 4 different steps. They do the salsa step, they do the cumbia step, the reggaeton, and the merengue step. And the merengue step is basically just a march. And this way you can really move your hips. You can go forward as long as you swing those hips. Just make sure you have you're smiling. Make sure you're smiling. Put a little salsa in here. 1, 2. Make sure you use those hips. I promise you, when you walk down the street afterwards, or in your house, you're going to walk much more fluid. Pelvic tilt in. See, this makes you smile. This makes you do all kinds of wonderful things. Brings your energy and brings that sexual energy back. Your genitals are part of your body again. And you get to breathe heavy, you get to sweat, and just feel good. So don't forget about your hips. Even if you don't have sex, even if you don't feel sexy, after a dance like this, after moving your hips, I promise you, you will feel sexy. Because you are. I will see you next week.